will be a great world champion. My strengths in my game are especially my patience and the fact that I can calculate odds pretty quickly. The deck I'm playing is a deck that Jon's playtest team actually put together, and then I found out through some mutual friends of mine and theirs what they were playing with. So when I showed up here, I told them that I knew about the deck, so then they let me into their playtest group, and I got the deck from them. I just clinched Pro Tour Player of the Year, and I feel great about it. And to finally have it clinched is a huge weight off my shoulders, because I don't think I'd ever have another chance like this for quite some time. If I could become Pro Tour Player of the Year, World Champion, and win a Pro Tour in the same season, I wouldn't ever feel like I had anything left to prove. I feel like I was the best player in the game.
Before this event, Jon Finkel was way above the competition in terms of prize money. His second place finish here ensures that Jon's winnings would be double his closest competitor. Jon Finkel and Bob Maher are making their bid to join some of the greatest Magic players of all time in the right to claim the title of World Champion. It's time for the deciding game number 5.
Both players are comfortable with their opening draw. Maher plays an island and says done.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
It's interesting that Bob Maher didn't necessarily have to be sitting here in this game. Back in game 1, he played a Crumbling Sanctuary in an attempt to deck Jon Finkel. Had to, because he was going to get killed by Colossus if he didn't. But he played it before attacking with a 1919 creature. That Finkel, later in the game, still had 20 life points left over to use to make 1919 minion tokens of his own for his own processor. And that mistake cost Bob Maher Jr. game number 1. If he attacks first, then plays the Sanctuary, there's no way for Finkel to get out of it.
Okay.
And Maher would already have won the World Championship. So I don't know.
So now at game 5, if Maher Jr. loses this one, well, could be known as the one that got away from him.
It's not clear that Maher even realizes the mistake he made. The players have been up on stage. I'm pretty sure Finkel saw it, but I haven't really seen Finkel say anything to Bob about it.
Yeah, Maher may be completely unaware that he made any mistakes in this match.
He's going to hear about it afterwards, though.
Oh, yeah. You betcha.
It won't sting nearly as much if he wins this game, though. If he wins, doesn't matter. If he loses, it matters. Maher attempts to cast Tangle Wire, and Finkel's got the annul.
Go ahead.
Finkel's got Tinker. Bye-bye Voltaic Key. And hello Colossus? Processor?
I'm thinking Colossus, unless he's got a lot more artifact mana in his hand.
Phyrexian Colossus. 8/8, almost impossible to block. Just a little bit of life to untap.
Good turn.
Finkel tinkered Phyrexian Colossus into play. He's all tapped out, though. We'll see what Maher's got up his sleeve. Maher taps 4 for 3 in Dynamo. Taps that for 3. And plays Tangle Wire. Oh, my.
That was huge.
Finkel forced to tap 4 permanents.
Go ahead.
That includes Phyrexian Colossus.
Put the wire on the stack in response to all that's one.
That'll make it really hard for Finkel to ever attack with this Colossus. If he was able to get in 1 hit, then he could pay 8 life, attack again, pay 8 life, attack again, take 16 but deal 24 damage. Tangle Wire throws off the math, though.
Finkel's got to find another Voltaic Key.
If he's got Voltaic Key, he can get out of this. But without Voltaic Key, he'll be forced to come up with some other damage source. Land, Voltaic Key.
Attack.
Oh, he pays 8 life and attacks.
That's 12.
Is this a key?
Oh,
Oh, that was huge. That was huge.
Voltaic Key. That key means Finkel won't need to pay any more life in order to attack with his Colossus.
We'll be right back to find out if Maher has an answer to Finkel's combo of Voltaic Key and Phyrexian Colossus.
Welcome back to Game 5 of the World Championship Finals. I'm Randy Bueller, here with Brian Hacker, and when we left you before, Bob Maher was trying to find some answer to Jon's Phyrexian Colossus. Well, Maher does have a tinker. What should he go get, Brian?
Bob's best chance right here is probably to try to get some offensive play and put Finkel under the same life pressure Bob himself is feeling right now.
All right, Maher puts Phyrexian Colossus into play. That's some offense, and... oh! Tinker number 2! Now what does he go get?
Wow, well, because of Bob's earlier Tangle Wire, Jon was forced to pay 8 life to untap his Colossus, putting himself at 12 in the process. Something like a Masticore coupled with a Colossus of his own here would at least give Bob a fighting chance.
Yeah, it looks like Bob has decided on Masticore with Tinker number 2. Suddenly, he's got 12 power worth of offensive plays, threatening a lethal counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely, Randy. The fact that Bob now has 12 points of creature damage staring Jon down limits Jon's options this turn pretty severely. He can't very well use the Lone Voltaic Key to untap the Colossus and attack because Bob would just simply crack back the next turn and win the game. If he doesn't have anything else in his hand, I think Jon simply has to sit tight, say done, leave the Colossus on defense as he gets the Key and the Colossus synced up to allow both an attack and the threat of a block.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Finkel's going to be able to attack this turn. He's looking at his options.
Got a lot of cards, Randy.
We'll see if he's got the answer yet again. That's why they call him Jon Finkel. All right, Finkel's got... oh, my!
Ooh. Voltaic Key number 2. Wow, that's awesome for Jon right now. That key is going to allow Jon to attack right away because he can now untap his Colossus and have the second key ready to untap it again to block. That was very timely for Finkel.
Down 4.
So Jon plays his second key, attacks for 8, putting Bob down to 4, and casts Tangle Wire. Wow, what an incredible turn for Jon Finkel. Maher's now going to have to come up with an answer to Colossus with only 2 mana available to him. Bob untaps, resolves Tangle Wire, draws, extends the hand. There it is! Jon Finkel wins the 2000 Magic the Gathering World Championship, taking out PT Player of the Year Bob Maher in an exhilarating 5-game match.
What an awesome performance from the best player in the biggest tournament of the year.
So Jon Finkel takes home the title and the $34,000 first place prize. Maher earns $22,000 for second. Let's hear from the new world champion.
I was worried a lot. I was down 2 games to 1. A lot of times I just threw what I had on the table and said, try to beat this. And, Bob's looking at his hand with 6 cards, for about 5 minutes. And I'm like, please don't beat it. Please don't beat it. And he didn't.
So for Randy Bueller and Brian Hacker, I'm Todd Harrison. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.